Hey guys, so this is day 6 of the Gratitude Gym, and today I'm most grateful for my family. A few months ago when I started my company Soundwise, I was one day on the phone with my mom, and we were talking about, I me leaving my job and starting this new venture, and she said something that really hit me. And she said, "You know what's funny? Your dad started his company same age as you do, exact the same age. We were both 34." So at the time I heard that and was like, huh, interesting. And I remember I had this very uncomfortable, visceral feeling inside when I heard that. Because my father's company didn't succeed. He ran it, for about a year, and somehow, like for multiple reasons, that company got shut down, and he actually, got another job later. And it was really one of the lowest periods of his life. So, sometimes people say, the least thing I want to do is to turn out like my mom or like my dad. And people say that for a reason, right? It's like the worst nightmare to turn out to be like your parents in certain respect that you don't really like about them. And but somehow, sometimes it's very hard to not be like your parents because you have their genetics, and you have your particular upbringing, and you're heavily influenced by your parents. And sometimes we make choices, subconsciously. We make certain choices that are identical to our parents' choices because subconsciously we knew that their choices didn't turn out well, but we wanted to do it again and repeat the same pattern and to get a different result in order to almost right the wrong. And that is for a lot of people, that is our way to heal the family. It's not an effective way, but that's how most people subconsciously, that's what's going on. It's like their intention is, their inner child is trying to help their parents by making the same choices, but hoping to get a different outcome. And also sometimes people hold certain beliefs about themselves, or make certain choices. They're similar to what their parents would do because subconsciously we have this loyalty towards our parents, or subconsciously our inner child still thinks that the parents are always right. So the relationship, your relationship with your parents are really quite complicated. There are so many layers of things going on, and most of them, I would say 90% of it, that we are not really conscious about. So I heard my mom said that, I was like, interesting. So my father struck out on his own when he was 34 to start his company, and I did that exact same thing too at the same time. And I felt like this is too much of a coincidence, and I frankly do not like this, especially given how his company turned out. So this is something that was like actually always on the back of my mind for the past few months. And whenever, when I was not making enough progress, that thought will just bubble up, Am I turning into my father? Am I doing this in order to right the wrong, or to try to repeat the same thing but hoping for a different outcome? Or, even like superstitiously, is there some kind of energetic imprint I'm trying to process for my dad through my action of starting this new venture? I think there is something there. So just yesterday, I felt like, just somehow I felt I could not just let this go. I need to clarify this, and I need to heal this, whatever the stuff there is in there on the energetic and subconscious level. So I actually called up my dad, and I was expecting, I didn't want to make the call because I didn't expect it to be a pleasant conversation, but I was very calm. And I asked him, I said, Dad, so you started this company when you were 34 and it didn't work out. What did you learn from that experience? How did that experience help you? Notice I didn't ask him, why didn't it work out? Or what did you do wrong? Because the purpose for me asking him the question is because I want to know, what is the growth point here, right? And I didn't want to blame him for making any mistakes. I certainly did not want to repeat his mistakes or whatever they were, but I want to make the focus on what is right and what is being learned and what has grown in him because of that experience. So we talked about a bunch of things, and what he said a lot. He told me a lot of things, and it's amazing, all through all these years. He started the company when I was 7, and we didn't really have any serious conversation about it. At the time, I was like a kid, and so I knew like one day my dad was like being a CEO of a company. The next day, he got another job for some reason. I had no clue. So, and my dad said, was what he told me was like, what he learned was one thing is starting your own venture. It's so damn hard. And he said, well, Natasha, last year you want to, start your own company. And I was so against it because I didn't want you to go through so much trouble, so much hardship, because, there's so much work that gets unrecognized and unappreciated when you try to start your own thing. And you are pushing a boulder uphill. That's like 99% of the time. And my father said, I just didn't want you to go through that. And so I said, Dad, I understand, but and I appreciate that. And I really thank you for thinking that way, because you're always trying to protect me and you're always wishing the best of me. So I totally am very, very grateful for that. And you also need to know that this is who I am. I need to create my purpose. The purpose of my life is to create new things, and I feel really inspired to do this. And I hope I will have your blessing on this journey. And I also hope you know that however this turns out, I will gain a lot from this experience. So we had a very candid, very calm conversation. It was very emotional for me. And basically what he said was, I totally support you in the end. That's what my dad said. If this is what you want, I 120% support you. And we, of course, talked about this before, several months ago when I started my company. But it was always like, why are you doing this? Why are you getting yourself into trouble? I do not fully see the point of it. But, yesterday when I called my dad and I addressed this connection head on, I told him, I said, Dad, I'm starting this thing at the same age as you start your company. So I don't think that's coincidence. And I don't want to be influenced by that, by that linkage, no matter what it is on a conscious or subconscious level. So that's why I'm so grateful today to my father, because I think, on a very deep level, I think he got it. And sometimes you have a lot of times you have a contract with the person in your life, and that contract was set long time ago without either of you being conscious of it. And sometimes, a lot of times you have a contract with your parents, no matter whether it's, I will follow whatever you say, or I will not betray you, or, I will always listen to you, or I will not be more successful than you. Whatever that is, if you do not bring it onto a open and conscious and accepting level of discussion, both within yourself and with the person involved, it is very easy to get into a chain of reactive actions that somehow you want to rebel against the contract, but you never get out of it. That's why so many people, they would tell you it's my worst nightmare to turn out like my father and like my mother, but they will do things that are exactly the opposite to what they claim themselves to be. They will do things exactly just like their parents. That's because, although we consciously, our ego wants to heal a certain pattern or to break out of a contract that wasn't healthy, when there is not enough love and compassion and gratitude involved, it is very hard to break out of that contract just from a mind level. So that's why I'm so grateful today to my father and to my inner child. And I hope this is something that will inspire you as well, whatever pattern you have in your life, you're associated with your parents. The first thing you should do is to send a love, send the gratitude from the bottom of your heart of whatever that contract has done to serve you so far in your life. It's just you no longer need it. But it doesn't mean that you should just, push it aside. Properly acknowledge and thank its contribution to your life. And that is, the most effective way to not turn out like your parents, to actually dissolve whatever pattern and association and contract there is, and strike out something new and create something new. So I'm grateful, very, very grateful today. All right, this is day 6 of the Gratitude Gem. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends. See you tomorrow.